and that comes right from the
We're gonna watch this video.
Government services.
Trump being shot.
Comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
All right, so right there, I've watched this video many times now, but right there, you hear pop, pop, 2 shots, and he grabs his ear and flinches. I think, you know, when I first heard of this story breaking, I thought maybe it was just like a car backfiring or firecrackers. But as soon as I watched this and he grabs his ear, well, then I thought, you know, maybe I saw the blood and I thought maybe, you know, he hit the ground. His hat fell off. He scraped his ear on the ground. You know, maybe it's still what I watched this video and saw him grab his ear. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane that he was not shot and killed. It is absolutely insane. You know, if I just watched Pulp Fiction recently, and yeah, in that, you know, Samuel L. Jackson's character and John Travolta's character are shot at when they picked up the briefcase from Marcellus Wallace, and they're missed. And then Samuel L. Jackson's character believes it was divine intervention.
What just happened here was a fucking miracle.
Chill, Jules. This shit happens.
Wrong. Wrong. This shit doesn't just happen.
Do you want to continue this theological discussion in a car or in a jailhouse with the cops?
We should be fucking dead, my friend. What happened here was a miracle, and I want you to fucking acknowledge it.
All right, it was a miracle. Can we go now?
And I guarantee you that this is going to be viewed as divine intervention by Trump supporters. Now, I'm not a supporter of Trump, but I'm glad he was not killed here. As someone who does not want to see him reelected, I'm saddened by the fact that this will almost certainly see him win. And I'm frustrated that, you know, it's horrible to use violence to take down a political opponent. An innocent rally attendee was killed, shot in the head. It sounds like I saw an interview with another attendee who was a doctor who tried to save this person but was not able to. The shooter is also dead, but let's keep watching. It's terrifying. You know, it's terrifying. It would be just as terrifying if this was Biden being shot at. Doesn't matter who's being shot at, it's horrible. I'm surprised so many people are just standing there like that. Like, you'd think people would be running or like hitting the ground. Like, there's a shooter.
Okay, we are watching live at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where former President Trump was speaking on the stage. There has been some kind of disturbance that clearly sets law enforcement and Secret Service into motion, immediately jumping around the former president in a protective mode.
This is the moment.
The crowd has been screaming. They are standing
right
by.
Here.
You can hear some voices there saying, "Are we ready to go?
Secret
Are we ready
Service.
to go?"
You see blood on his face.
You're looking at President Trump. This does not look good. I'm going to be honest with you. From what we can see right here, it looks like they are attempting to move him out. That
where he pumps his fist and shouts, "Fight!" Like,
he is holding up his arm.
I don't even like
his fist, but
Trump, but that's like it's got to be.
Get him out of this
it's got to be one of the most badass things anybody's done ever.
All of a sudden, you hit it big, and your paychecks.
Jim Carrey. Like that wins him the election, right? It's kind of got to at this point. He has got it in the bag at this point because that last moment, rallying his supporters even though, you know, it was his life on the line. It's just crazy. I don't know what to say. I'm still a little bit in shock by this whole thing. I just felt like we don't know. At the time I'm making this video, we don't know who the shooter was. Reports are that the shooter's dead. There's another person dead. As far as we know, just one gunman. We don't know the motivation of the gunman. You know, the immediate assumption is that the gunman was anti-Trump and wanted him dead so that he didn't win the election. But of course, you know, there are so many reasons that somebody could do this, including just being totally fucking batshit crazy, like John Hinckley Jr., who shot President Reagan to impress Jodie Foster. That was not to be a political statement. It was just a crazy person. So we don't know. It could absolutely be some unhinged person on the left. It could be some MAGA person on the right who had a crush on Trump and the voices in his head told him that he needed to kill him so they could be together forever. Who knows? We don't know yet. So I say, I hope we don't rush to judgment here. I hope we don't. And I hope that this doesn't lead to further political violence, attempts on Biden, for instance, or just, you know, people are talking like, oh, this is the next thing is civil war. I hope that's not true. I was going to make a video about, I still might do this, make a video about the Lincoln Project's, their video about called Aftermath, about what happens if Trump's elected. And this whole Project 2025 thing, I know that's a little off I usually make videos about TV shows and movies and whatnot, but, you know, it's an election year. I have to talk about it. Anyways, I am glad that Trump is not dead. I know you'll see a lot of people talking about how they wish that he'd just been killed. I get it. You don't like Trump, but I believe very firmly that human life is sacred and we should not want blood to be shed. Because for one thing, that's immoral. For another thing, the consequences of bloodshed generally tend to be more bloodshed. And we want to avoid that. We want to avoid killing. We want to avoid this country turning to violence to solve its problems. We want to keep our great republic alive and its people safe. So if you pray, if you meditate, if whatever you do, pray for peace and for life and for cooler heads prevailing in what has become a very weird, very dark year. I do think this does not necessarily mean Trump wins the election, but I think this, on top of Biden's recent gaffes, the terrible debate, just the fact that I don't know a single person on the left who's excited for Joe Biden, whereas Trump has a very passionate fan base. I say fan base. Electorate? Fan base? Does it make a difference? The lines are blurry. If I were a betting man, I'd be betting on Trump, for sure. And I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think Trump's what this country needs. Even though, you know, I've never been a Trump supporter. I don't think he is. I think there's a lot of hyperbole around Trump and what's going to happen if he's elected. That's why I wanted to make a video about this Lincoln Project video. Because I don't think all of the doom and gloom stuff that people are talking about is going to happen. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't prognosticate every little thing. I just know that generally things are not as bad or dramatic as people say they are. The heroes that we worship are not as heroic as we think they are. The villains that we demonize are not as villainish as we think they are. And anyways, okay. What a day. What a fucking crazy day. Thank you for watching. I will catch you next time. Oh, I just wanted to add that the photographers are the clear winners of this whole fiasco. These photographs, which I will put over this video, these couple photographs are history in real time. We're going to see these in history books throughout history for decades or longer if the human species survives that long. So, whew.